Alright, you're back for our test game. Hand is pretty good. I had to wait a little while to join. Um, yeah, two mans just aren't what they used to be. It's basically the moral of the story. So, what's gonna happen here is I'm gonna go Souls Attendant turn one, and then I'm gonna go Souls Attendant turn two, and return to land, and hopefully it will be glorious, just like Bobby Roode's theme song. Uh, I did F8. I can't F8. No, I'm not allowed to F8. Okay, I did hit F8, but it's not letting me. Sweet, great, great, great Magic Online. Just. I hate this program sometimes. Um, he sent me a message. All right, well, I'm going to be right back. So as anyone could have noticed, we are up against Affinity. Opponent went turn two Frogmite and then didn't do anything else. Um, okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to play the planes, and I'm going to play this one. I'm playing these so I can just auto yield to them, so it makes my life easier. Is basically what I'm doing. And then next turn, I may just go Squadron Hawk just to get some dudes in the air. So this is kind of the magical Christmas land part of this deck. But Affinity can still easily beat you. I mean, Affinity is all about pumping out big dudes and, doing a lot of damage. So it's going to be fairly interesting how this plays out. Affinity has been kind of hit and miss in my testing. I mean, if they get, excuse me, if they get the nut draw, happens. You just accept it. That's just Affinity for you. And then if the later the game goes, the more it can favor you because of how much life you can gain and how much damage they can't quite deal fast enough. But we will see. All right, so my opponent played a Prophetic Prism and then just said go. Um, so I think, well, first of all, if we're going to attack. That's a given. We're definitely going to attack here. This is 6 to convoke. So now what I think the plan is to play Hawk, get the rest of my Hawks to thin my deck so that I don't have a chance of drawing them. You kind of always want to do that. Excuse me. As quickly as you possibly can. Really? Okay. I did say always yes, but sure. Excuse the truck outside. Yes. And 1, 2, and 3. Alright. And play this. Another thing you could do is yes, you could theoretically splash for Gorilla Shaman in the board. That is something that you can do. Would you ever do it in this deck? No. You have 5 red sources, all of which come into play tapped. You would never do it. Unless Gorilla Shaman really is coming down on turn 1 or 2 for you, or coming down on turn 3 in special circumstances like this, it wouldn't be bad, but other than that, you're not going to do it. Alright, so opponent played Thoughtcast, and played a Great Furnace. We'll be back after my opponent is done with their turn. Alright, so I'm going to block this 1-1 because this is never getting in while Sombra Hoverguard is on the board, so... do these fly? No, they do fly. So I feel that actually blocking here and taking 1 less damage is perfectly fine. Why is it not blocking? There we go. I don't know what's going on with Magic Online right now. But it might just be my internet. My internet's been a little wacky the last 24 hours, so... Okay. I'm about to say, I did not actually tap that. Alright, so here, what we'll do is we'll play Soul Warden. And then we will play Gather Townsfolk because it is a sorcery. And gain all the life. And then we will do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. and gain 12 more life. Oh, this deck is so dumb. Oh, can I F7 these onto the... I guess I could have tried, but... Alright, and since F8ing is not working, I can just simply, you know, do that. So I'm at 53, and I have at least... let's see, each of these are 4 life, so that's 4 times 5, so it's another 20 life. So again, could theoretically die to affinity at any point over the course of X amount of turns, but once I draw Rally, should win the game. Should win the game. Once Tog comes down, it's going to be a little scarce, though, because of a Tog plus Fling, of course. If my opponent attacks with the Summer Hoverguard, I will block it and kill it, because then it opens up me playing Squadron Hawks. It's interesting that my opponent is playing Summer Hoverguard, and that seems like a very, very early scoop to me. Alright. Oh, well, I was drawing Rally the next turn. I guess my opponent had the Soul Read. Alright. And that's just what happens. It can be very frustrating. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I did play Slivers before this, and I got my butt handed to me games 1 and 2 because I just drew kind of bad. And Slivers is not the best matchup for this deck because every turn their creatures are getting bigger. So you're actually on a clock to get Rally because their creatures are hitting for so much damage. And anytime you have to chump, it's 3 less damage for Rally, so you're usually not getting very far. So that is an issue in that retrospect. And, you know, Sliver's just not a great matchup. But I decided not really to record it for 2 reasons. One, mostly because I lost and I looked like a bad player, and you guys already know I'm a bad player. You don't need to be proving it. And 2, because Slivers is not popular really at all, as where Affinity obviously is. So I don't like Acacian Javelineers against Affinity. I don't feel that it really does anything. And then we could probably shave like a Gather Townsfolk. Probably should just shave a Squadron Hawk, honestly. Squadron Hawk is great, but now that I know my opponent's playing Summer Hoverguard, it's not the best. I'm gonna mulligan this hand. I love Battle Screech, but you know, not when I have 3 of them in my opening hand. Okay, I guess. Alright. It's not bad for a mulligan of 5. It's got 2 Soul Warrens, way to make some tokens, gain some life. Just gotta hope the top of my deck is kind to me. Alright, that's exactly what I was talking about. Yeah. Let's see if F8 works this time. Alright. What do you know? It did actually work. Alright, we're gonna play Soul Warren. I should have played Soul's Attendant. I did that wrong. It was a really bad play. You always want to play Soul's Attendant because it's the more annoying it's the more annoying one to have to gain life off of. 1 mana. Is my opponent sacking the star, or is my opponent going Galvanic Blast? Sacking a star for a blue. Turn 2 with Tog? It's the only thing I can think of, unless they're going to Spreading Seas my planes, which they are more than welcome to do. That is not what they're doing. Alright. Excuse me. Alright. They do have 1 red open. They are not doing anything with it. Cool. And Squadron Hawk. Alrighty. So far, the top of my deck is being quite kind to me. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Return the planes. Be very, very careful when you are doing Karus. It is very, very easy to mess that up. Do have a choice next turn. Could Dust to Dust and try to screw my opponent on lands, but I'm not really sure if that's the best idea. Of course, it depends on what they do. I mean, if they go like Frogmite Mirror Enforcer right now, I'm probably just going to Dust to Dust away those 2 creatures. So we'll see. Definitely taking 1 here, of course. Not blocking with the Soul Sisters. They do not block. Opponent said go. Okay. Since I drew that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove both of these red sources. The reason to remove those is maybe to cut my opponent off a Tog or a Galvanic Blast. Or even Electrickery, which, yep, they do have. Oh, I was about to say, like, what am I doing? I don't want to skip my turn. Oh, yeah, this is turn 3. Yeah, you do have to play around Electrickery. Some Affinity decks don't play it, some do. I have seen them not play it, I have seen them play it. I didn't feel that bringing in my enchantment was a good idea. It may have been better to bring in over Squadron Hawk, I'm not sure. Opponent plays a 4/4. Alright, well, we're going to play Soul Ward, and then we're just going to play Squadron Hawk. And we are going to always yield. Always yield. Yep. Get the last two remaining Hawks. Now, this is also great because now my opponent may think I have a final Hawk in hand, and I don't. So that might influence my opponent on how they play. Not exactly sure if that will, but... Alright, well, it looks like the Dust to Dust did not matter. It looks like my opponent is quite mana flooded. So another Dust to Dust would be great because then I can kill the Flare Husk and the Mere Enforcer. So we'll have to see what happens here. The other guy, the Townsfolk, that's not bad, but it's not great. So we're just going to gain a couple life here. I'm going to hold to Gather the Townsfolk. I'd rather just play out the Flyers. Yep. Nope. And nope. And pass turn. We will attack for 1, though. Gotta get in that damage. And we're going to take 9 here. I'm not going to block the Ooze, the Germ token. Yeah, so unfortunately I got kind of bummed because the Dust to Dust didn't really do much. It cut them off a red, that's true, but the fact of the matter is they already had lands. So I'm going to take 9 and go to 10. I don't think blocking there is really helping me. Okay, so now what the plan is to attack for 8. Opponent's got 1 card that they did not cast. I'm sorry, attack for 4, 8. I wish I was attacking for 8. And we'll go ahead and play the Suture Priest. Go to 11. We don't actually have to block. We can go to 2, and then we can gather Townsfolk and gain 10. Which will be very, very good. Alright. Another Chromatic Star. I'm sure they're cracking for a red. Excuse me. Yep. Draw a card. Alright, no use of the red, that's cool. Gonna take 9 here and go to 2. Unless my opponent does not want to put me to 2. I would block if they had 2 cards in hand, I think. Possibly, I'm not sure. Wow, that's insane. Alright, so... I've never... By the way, this is going to be the first time I've ever Fateful Dowered in my entire Magic career. I've never Fateful Dowered. In all my years of playing Magic before and since this card has come out, I've never actually Fateful Dowered before. Actually feels kind of great. What? How does F7 not work? Oh my god. When is F7 supposed to work? Alright, so we're going to gain a bunch of life. Always yield to this. Oh, this is a yes trigger too? Jeez. Why would I ever say no? I mean, of course there's reasons to say no, but... So, my opponent's in a really tough position now, because now they're facing lethal next turn. And now any creatures that they play is going to drain them. This is the point of Soul Sisters in this format against all the aggro decks. It does even have game against control decks, of course, but this is pretty much what you're seeing the deck do. Now, my opponent could have Electrickery, but they would have to have top decked it because they did add a red last turn. So, you know, I mean, if they top decked it, they top decked it, but they're not windmill slamming it, so it's either my opponent is slow rolling me or they don't have it. I have exactly 10 damage. So, of course, my opponent can't play around a rally. And my opponent, it's probably in their best interest to not actually attack me. Okay, or that. All right. So that was the test game. I hope you enjoyed it. I think it definitely showed how Soul Sisters works. Um, it's unfortunate we didn't get to play Rally, but sometimes you don't need Rally. Sometimes you can just gain so much life and flood the board so much that you can, of course, win. Um, as far as problematic cards you're going to have to watch out for, I will put that in my article in more depth, but basically the cards you need to watch out for are cards like Nausea, Shrivel, and Electrickery are the main three. Of course, there's always Evan Carr's Justice, Pestilence, but you can't really watch out for Pestilence. Crypt Rats are things to watch out for, etc., etc. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving.